everyone. Happy 2022. I am Therapist Wamwene or Rebecca Wamwene. Mostly if you go to my social media platforms, you will find me in Facebook as Therapist Wamwene, and in Instagram, I am Therapist_Wamwene. I'm born again, the Lord is Christ in me. I thank God for this opportunity He has given unto me before the year 2021 ends. Although it is just hours away, we are just approaching the year 2022, so that we may communicate the message of the year 2022 that the Lord has given unto me. But before I get to the year 2022 message, I want to do a recap of the year 2021. What are the things we've been going through? Part of the year 2020, the year 2019, and the year 2021, they have been very difficult years, financially, socially, psychologically, emotionally, every way. I mean, we have been in isolation, some of us. We have been quarantined. We have seen our loved ones die. Some of us have been left orphaned. Others have been widowed. We have gone through all manner of loss and grief, pain. We have cried the least tears. And maybe even at this particular time, when we are telling ourselves that we are in the festive seasons, we may not have been able to have celebrated this season the right way, because economically we were grounded. More to that, just as we were coming to terms with the COVID-19 that has been changing its variants every now and then, variant this, variant that, variant the other, our sons and daughters, because of the pressure, because of the things they had gone through, the teenagers, our young adults, they started behavioral issues, some of which threw us off balance. They burned the schools, some killed each other, others committed suicide. Our sons and daughters were taken to court. They faced charges. Some are still proceeding with the court cases, even as of here and now. We had to pay very high fee because of the schools that were banned. Some of our businesses were torn apart. We have nowhere we can earn from. And all these things have left us paining. All these things have left us in tears. And at times we may have come to a point where Job, at one point, said, I look behind, I see no God. I look forward, I see no God. I look my right hand side, I see no God. And do you know what? When a person says that I look back and I see no God, that person says, in my past, there is no trace of your working in my life. I've not seen you heal me. I've not seen you deliver me. I've not seen you do this for me. I have not seen you preserve my generation. When someone says, when I look into ahead, I see no God, or when I look forward, I see no God, that person is saying, my future is doomed. I'm hopeless. I'm helpless. I see no future for me in my children. But then there's something that Job says, and that pleases me very much. He says, but then I look at the left-hand side and I realize that that is where God is working from. The year 2019, 2020, 2021, God has been working on the left-hand side. And so a majority of us may have not had the energy to even feel Him around, to even experience Him in one way. There were so many divorces, so many separations, so many homicides. But in all those situations, God was still working on the left hand. So what is He saying for the year 2022? And that is the reason I am here, so I can submit the message that God has given to me as I sought him throughout the year, asking him, what do you want with us as a nation, the year 2022, as a church, as families, as people maybe who have been struggling with ACEs, adverse childhood experiences, or adverse community experiences, because we know there are some communities who have been fighting. Go to Laikipia, go to Baringo, go wherever. There are people who have really been fighting adverse community experiences. So I was asking God, what is it you want with us in the year 2022? And this is what he submitted to me, and it's what I want to submit to each and every listener. Anyone watching this video. The year 2022 is the year of conquest. The year of conquest. Remember, when God prepared the people of Israel to leave Egypt to go to Canaan, there were so many promises he made to them. And I would want to maybe bring you from where they started the Exodus up to where now I want us to focus on. That I will carry you from this land where you have been oppressed. In fact, when he revealed himself to Moses, he said to him, I have seen the oppression of my people. I have heard their cry, and I have come to deliver them. And when I deliver them, I will take them to the land of Canaan, that which does not belong to them. There are so many enemies, they are giants, but I will help them conquer the giants so they can occupy. So the main agenda for God to get the people of Israel from Egypt was for them to go and occupy the land of Canaan. So the year 2022 is the year of conquerors, the year of conquest. And how are we going to conquer? Look at the days of Joshua. Joshua was told by God, lead the people, help them to go and conquer the land, destroy all the enemies, annihilate them, finish them completely, then occupy the land. He was supposed to lead in the conquest. But because he was human, at some point he failed. Read at your own time the book of Joshua 11:23 and also the book of Joshua 13 verse 1 to 3. And you realize that 23 downward says, or even 21 downward says that Joshua captured the whole land and allocated the tribe of Israel in their allocations. But then if you continue with the same chapter, you will realize that it is said, but he was not able to capture Gaza, Gath, and Ashdod. Gaza is the territory or the area in which Samson was captured, the Nazarite of God, the same way Joshua had captured, but he was not able to conquer the giants and the enemy. Then Samson was taken at the same place and he was captured and he was made fun of and he was done all manner of brutal things, and eventually Samson became suicidal. He prayed to God and said, help me to die together with these people. That is suicidality. When you go to Ashdod, you realize that that is where the god the idol god used to stay. That is where the Ark of the Covenant was taken, and they worshipped idol gods there. Before the Ark of the Covenant, they made fun of God. And when you go to God, that is where Goliath hailed. So you can see, and Goliath is the one who made fun of the heroes of God, of the children of God, until the rise of David. So you can see how these people suffered under their enemy because Joshua was only able to capture. That is why God tells him in chapter 13 of Joshua, Joshua, age is catching up with you. You are old enough, but a huge chunk of land still remains unconquered. So Joshua was able to capture, but not to conquer. So God was teaching me the difference between capturing and conquering. Maybe you have captured your emotions, you have captured your anger, you have captured your shame, you have captured your guilt, you have captured all those things you fear, but you've not conquered it. Time and again, it keeps on popping up, and it pulls you down. It puts you down. It destroys you and your generation. The year 2022 is the year of conquest. How are we going to conquer? Now, I want to focus on the book of Judges, chapter 5. And I will not read because it is the whole of it, and I want you to go and read. And I will extract some 4 points that we are supposed to focus on in the year 2022 so that we can become the conquerors that God wants us to be. Paul says we are now more than conquerors, and we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. Point number 1. If you read the Bible in the book of Judges chapter 5, it is talking about Deborah, who was a prophetess. She was a counselor, and she was a judge. A prophetess, a counselor, and a judge. So, being a prophetess, she was a person who really walked with God. She listened to God. Hapa kwa hapa. They walked together, There was no one moment she did anything out of her own decisions or thoughts. She consulted God seriously. So point number 1, what did Deborah do? Because I want her to be our point of reference in the year 2022. Deborah gained self-awareness. Self-awareness. In counseling, we say, self-awareness is in the center of success. It is central to success. It is central to you overcoming your behavioral issues. It is central to you overcoming your addictions. It is central to you achieving your goals. It is central to you managing to maintain self-love, self-care, be able to appreciate who you are and where you are without getting unhealthy competitions. So Deborah gained self-awareness. What does this mean? Know where you are, where you're coming from, and where you're headed. Where you are, where you're coming from, and where you're headed. As a nation, we are coming from a place that is very difficult financially, emotionally, socially, like I said before. Sometimes we have even been alienated from our families. We were not even able to go and celebrate with them. At times, we couldn't even stretch our hands and say hi to one another. Touch was a distant vocabulary with us. Where are we coming from? A very, very difficult situation economically, where our children are bombarded with education, deadlines, everything. It is stormy. And their brain is developing. There is both the internal and the external noises bothering them. That's where we are coming from. Where are we as of here and now? We are at a place where we are gathering ourselves together. We are getting to understand that COVID-19 is with us to stay longer than we expected. We are at a place where we know it is transforming from one variant to another. So tomorrow we do not know what variant will come. We are at a place where we know that our sons and daughters are facing it rough. We are at a place where we know that we do not know who is wrong. Are they the parents, the teachers, the church, the government, or the sons and daughters? We do not know. Where do we want to be? That is now what Deborah sat and thought, because she already knew we are coming from a place where we were left without a king. If you read the book of Judges, the whole of it, you realize that almost every chapter concludes with saying, or even starts with saying, in those days there were knocking in Israel. There was knocking in Israel. And so everybody did what was pleasing in their sight. So Deborah knew we were left without a king. And we are here now. When Joshua died, never left a king. And so everybody is fighting to occupy, to do what they're supposed to do, to gain a name and a status. Everybody is pulling in their own direction. So there is a lot of pull and push all over. And if you read in the book, in that song of Deborah, because chapter 5 is the song of Deborah, you realize that she says, in those days, the paths had been deserted. The highways had also been deserted. No one was walking in the streets. They had been deserted. There was a lot of fear of crime, terrorism, danger, all those things, just like in our state today. So Deborah knew where they were. She also knew where they had been, because she had known that God delivered them. God gave them a chance to come and occupy. So she knew where they were coming from. And so she formulated a plan of where they should be. And she knew where we are supposed to be is at a place of peace, where our sons and our daughters can enjoy. When we walk out and we walk in peace and return in peace, not in pieces. She knew that. So she went to point number 2. The Bible says that Deborah arose a mother in Israel. Realize that it doesn't say that she arose and became a mother. No, she arose a mother in Israel, meaning when she stood up, when she arose and decided that now I want to take off, she already knew who she was. We keep on singing and saying, I know who God says I am. Do we really know who we are? We say, I know who I am. Do I know who I am? She arose a mother. She knew I'm arising as a mother in Israel. Who is a mother? A mother is a gatherer, not a scatterer. She will gather the family together. She will gather the children together. She will gather the people together. No wonder even the Bible calls the church a she. No wonder even the nation is called a she. Even a continent is called a she, because a mother is a she. She is fruitful, productive, gathers together, does not scatter. She rose and arose a mother in Israel to gather everybody back on the streets in safety. When she did that as both Deborah, a woman of Lapidoth. The Bible in Hebrew says that Lapidoth means light, light or a place of light. And Deborah is known to have given herself into making wicks to light lamps in the temple. So when she rose, she knew, I'm not only rising up as a mother in darkness, I'm rising up a mother in light. I am light myself. I have the capacity to light the streets. I have the capacity to light the towns. I have the capacity to light the highways. And so people will not walk in darkness. Again, I ask, do you know who you are? She arose again knowing, I am productive. Deborah in Hebrew means bee, nuki. And we know that bees do so many things. They give us taste. And they also continue in fruitfulness because they do pollination to flowers. So she knew, I have the capacity to beautify the estate, the towns, the city, and the whole of Israel. And I have the capacity to bring in sweet aroma that will even go direct to God. So she arose. I am asking you, the year 2022, you cannot conquer when you're down. You cannot conquer when you're on the floor. You cannot conquer when you have been put down by loss and grief and sorrow, pain and fear. You cannot conquer when you have been put down by aces. No, you need to arise, accept the situation, adjust yourself, and then advance. Then number 3, when she arose, she teamed up. So number 3 is the team spirit. See what Deborah did. She did not tell herself, oh, you know, I have the capacity to light. Oh, you know, we have the capacity to do this and this. So I walk out. She teamed up. And whom did she team up with? Number 1, God. So she heard from God, took the directives, and went to a servant of God that God chose by the name Barak. Barak in Hebrew means thunderbolt or lightning. So she knew, I have the capacity to light. But God has told me, team up with lightning, thunderbolt. You know, when thunder gives the sound, the thunderous sound that we know of, all of us feel like we are going to run into our shelters and hide. So she teamed up with Barak and see the directions of God because she teamed up with God. God gave her directions, told her, I want you to read chapter 4 so you can see the directives of God to Deborah and what to tell Barak. God has chosen Barak. So God says to Deborah, choose Barak, then tell him to take this number of soldiers. God had even the specific number of soldiers to go to war. Then number 3, tell them to approach the war territory from the mountain. God specified from where they will approach the battle. So it was not about them telling themselves, this is the way, let us follow it, let us go this way. She teamed up with God for direction, teamed up with God for command. She knew that she was the chief commander of that battle, but she never allowed herself to utter a word without God telling her this is what to do. And remember, she was a woman. She rose above her gender. I am asking us in the year 2022, arise above your gender. And how do you arise above your gender? It is not by you admiring to be that other gender. It is not by you trying to say, oh, you know, what a man can do, a woman can do better. There is nothing like that. That is a foolish utterance, a foolish slogan. I mean, at what level are you comparing yourself with that other person so you can say, I can do better than them? You can only do like yourself. You know, the way we say, cheza ka wewe. You know, it can only be you, and you compete with you, not with that other person. So she rose, and she was not intimidated even when she was going to Barak, because she knew this is my line of command. That is the line of Barak's command. We are not competing with anything. Then number 4, when she was able to team up with God, she became strategic. The year 2022 is calling upon a strategizer. She called Barak, gave her the information, but then Barak said, you must go with me. So Deborah knew, I am the one who carry all the strategies of this war. So that we can conquer, I must have the strategies. Yes, it is true. Financially, you are down. But does it mean you're going to remain down? You must come up with strategies, winning strategies, rising strategies, earning strategies. You know, if today you're feeling like you are in a marriage that is so abusive, come up with the strategies. We have seen people change situations. Maybe it is the way you talk. It is the way you answer back. It is the way you throw tantrum. It is the way you know, all those things. Come up with better strategies. And we usually say, only fools do not change. Maybe you have been following one line of strategy. You can ask yourself, what else can I do? How can I do it better? When we are watching football, I'm a fan, by the way, we see that the footballers go for halftime. When they go for halftime, they go to discuss the strategies they have employed in the field, and can we still persist on the same, or can we do some changes? Sometimes you see them even changing players. That is a change of strategy. So, what are your strategies? What are your strategies? Is it that maybe you need promotion where you are? What are your strategies so you can get the promotion? I mean, it doesn't come in a silver platter. Deborah knew that. And see what she verbalized to Barak. She said, victory will be brought in Israel, but then the victory will go to a woman. And exactly that is what happened. So, today I'm asking us, as we march into the year 2022, do we know who we are? Do you have self-awareness? Have you ever even sat and thought, I would really need to know my emotions, my emotional outlets, my behavior, my feelings? Are you in touch with them even? Number 2, do you still purpose to remain in the same position where you are? Even in the days of Abraham, God had to tell Abraham, arise, leave your family and go. No one has ever conquered anything seated. They all have to arise. Number 3, who is in your team circle? Who is your teammate? Are they those people who always show you that nothing can be successful, nothing is possible? Are they only the negative, toxic people? Who is your teammate? Who are they? Do you know them? Do you know their capacity? Do you know their ability? You know? Or are you even a parasite yourself? You only want teammates who are so dynamic, but for you, you're just there a follower. And do you have any strategies? Do you have any plans? Deborah was a planner, an organizer. She was a driver, you know. Can you be able to drive your life, to direct your life, to guide your life? Or you're among those people who say, just what you say, I will follow suit. Chenye tu mtasema, mimi nitafanya. Are you just a yes person? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Or do you at some point say, by the way, I think that direction we are taking is not the best. We can reroute, and see if we can take a better route. May the Lord bless us in the year 2022. You are more than a conqueror. You are more than an achiever. You are highly favored of God. May the grace of God walk with you in the year 2022. May the grace of conquering be with you. May it overtake you. May it rule over you. May it lead you. May it guide you. May it help you to pick yourself from where you are. You and your generations are more than conquerors. God bless you and keep you. Looking forward to see you through the year 2022. And maybe you become my teammate. Who knows? God bless you. God keep you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Blessed year 2022 from Therapist Wamwene. Thank you.